Hello guys, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv, and I'm coming back at you with another Yokai ShadowSide review. Today's episode, which is episode 26, is Akuma no Madu no Mi Toire, which is the demonic swallow hole toilet. This episode was rather interesting to a certain degree. It was made even funnier because the little dog in it, Minami-san's pet, is named Terri. My name is Terri. So it felt like I was missing, maybe. Maybe I just felt a little sympathy for the dog because of the whole name coherency. Oh, never mind, let's move on. Basically, this episode brought two new yokai to the ShadowSide universe and brought them in a rather impactful way, but we'll get to them here in a moment. In our opening scene, a boy is plucked by the toilet. Basically, the toilet creature grabbed him and pulled him into the toilet dimension. At least that's what I'm calling it right now. And as we're basically going through the cycle here, we shift scenes to Keisuke's school, where Minami is crying and is upset and being comforted by two of her friends. And Keisuke and Koji and Tank just happened over here and come over to see what all was going on. Minami said that she was in the park playing with her dog, playing some frisbee, or fetch. And basically what went on is they played for a while and then he disappeared. He went to the toilet. So with that being completely said, she goes to check on him to see what else going on, because dogs shouldn't be going in public toilets without their human. I mean, even if they just happen to run in, he's a dog off of a leash. A lot of people would be suspicious of that, and the toilet monster takes him. She hears him whimper, and no Terri to be found. So she's sitting there at her desk crying about her puppy dog. I mean, I would be crying too if my pet disappeared. My cat is amazing, and if she ever becomes a yokai, that would be interesting, to say the least. Because she would basically be like Robonyan, because she is a cat. So let's move on from that as well. Transitioning on here. Keisuke, Koji, and Tank say they're gonna go hunt down Terri and help Minami find him. So they go on to try to do that. Keisuke first asks Natsume, Hime, Akinori, Toma, Whisper, and Michi. He's like, all I technically need is just a couple other people to help look. I think he alludes that it might be a yokai, but he doesn't want to believe it. And his emoting throughout the episode, or the way he displays emotion, has been excellent. QLM and Level-5 did a great job with this. Even Toma smiled this episode. I feel like logic was broken when he smiled, because Toma always has the same look on his face. But I wanted just to point out that Level-5 did a great job from an emotional perspective of displaying emotion. Same thing goes for the voice actor for Keisuke and for the voice actress for Minami. But that's stepping away from this whole thing as a whole. Basically, while at the park, Akinori and Natsume are the ones that went with Keisuke, Tank, and Koji to the park to help out, while Hime and Toma stayed at HQ and monitored the forum to see if anyone else's pets went missing, and surprise, surprise, other people's pets disappeared as well. So, as things go on, they look throughout the park, and they were unable to find Terri, and Keisuke brings up, well, there's one place left to look, so they head over to the toilets. Keisuke, Tank, and Koji check out the men's toilet, while Minami-san checks out the Josei toilet, or the women's toilet. And I want to say, in this set of scenes, Akinori and Natsume look like a mom and dad chaperoning their kids, kind of. Just like the posturing. It's like, the park is nice, and the scene just kind of sets up the downfall of Akinori x Hime. It's now Akinori x Natsume. Please trend on Twitter. I'm kidding, it's not going to trend on Twitter, because once Hime shatters Akinori's heart, he is going to become a hermit living in the mountains, maybe. But that's just a theory for another day while we're digging into the episode. So Natsume and Akinori actually checked the handicap toilet, and there was a yokai in it. And as the yokai went to attack them, Akinori did some of his Omioji style skills and shot his little Star of David attack at the yokai. And then the yokai disappeared. The yokai went to a different handicap toilet at a business building. Natsume and Akinori went after it. And Natsume, after the monstrous bear creature emerged from the toilet, it was now time to summon Robonyan 00 or 00 in LightSide. And then in ShadowSide, basically what went on is he tried to clean the Unchikuma, or the Poofessor, as it's probably going to be localized. Pooh Bear would have been so better. Or they could have just called it Winnie the Pooh. See? Context that makes sense that Disney would probably hate. But basically, the ShadowSide version of Poofessor is kind of frightening and looks a little dim-witted, just a tiny bit. Just sticking its tongue out with like the yucky stuff, the crap kind of rolling. But that's to be ignored because Robonyan cleans up, both in normal mode, basically while he was fighting the Unchikuma, while in LightSide form, he realized that the hair and the goop combination could be an issue. So he goes his ShadowSide form, blast it with a wave of, I'm going to say it's purifying water, because it's purifying water probably because he's a Roomba. And I kind of find it funny because Robonyan has Nyan in it, and he is not a cat, so he does not like it like that. So he cleans up the Unchikuma, the Poofessor. Poofessor basically says that things are going on and that he was basically looking into something that was happening, and he was traveling via the toilet network. At least that's what I'm taking that as. So with this all being said and done, he brought up the point that there's another creature down in the sewer, the toilet dimension area. Bear in mind there's no toilet dimension, I'm just using it as a segue point. And basically said that creature probably has been the one taking people and animals. Most likely has been taking pets. And then the next thing that happens is the creature takes Koji and Tank. It can keep Koji, but it needs to give Tank back, that's my opinion. So the crew ends up going after them because because Keisuke doesn't want to abandon his friends, so they embark on a quest down into the sewer to find Terri, Tank, and filler character, Koji. So everything goes on while Toma and Hime are still Hime's still in Grand Central Command, and I forgot to talk about a cute scene. Junior was a drum, and I believe it's Ogu, Mogu, and Togu were also cheering Toma on, and that was when Toma smiled. The smile that broke the internet, but not really. But we're going to shift back to the sewer now. I just wanted to bring up that scene did exist and happened and was adorable, because we need more Junior. We need more G-Tan. So, with that being said, they basically walk through the sewer. Natsume and Toma are using light to guide their way. And then basically what ends up happening is they come around the corner and they look up on a huge mound of different stuff, and sitting in the chair, it is Venoct, or Orochi, in his light side form, which has a ponytail apparently. I do like his light side style, and I do think he could have easily have taken them in light side form alone, because Venoct is super duper strong and could mid-diff their entire crew, minus probably Fudomio, with ease. But that's beside the point. We're gonna leave that for another episode. Basically, Venoct brought up the fact that these pets were abandoned. The little alligators, the raccoons, the dogs, the cats, the fish, the parrots, the everything, the pigs and monkeys, the snakes, they were flushed or thrown away. I only took a picture of the kittens in the box because that almost made me cry. They looked so tiny and fluffy. As many of you know, cats are my weakness. I love pets in general, minus hamsters and birds. I feel like both of those are maybe a tiny bit more work than what they're worth. While cats, dogs, fish are really something you can kind of interact with. I mean, you can technically do a little bit of interaction with your fish. You can't really touch them, but you can talk to them. And this is completely off topic, so we're just going to move on. Venoct said these animals were forgotten and abandoned by their people. What makes me believe that you care about one dog? He didn't really say it like that, but his verbalization and phrasing made it sound to that degree that he was stating it like that. So he goes ShadowSide and becomes this gigantic creature with his two green spiritual dragons, and Michi and Killing were summoned by Natsume and Akinoi to take him down, and Michi was easily smashed, while ShadowSide Michi was basically smacked by him, because Venoct is so much larger in ShadowSide than Michi. Killing tries to help, but they're both eventually knocked back into the wall, and Toma even goes Suzaku, and Venoct goes to fire a blast from his main head, which would be the bigger dragon head. And Suzaku, Kirin, and Michi combined were only able to stop that barely. And Suzaku was actually knocked back into Toma. Toma was actually knocked out of Suzaku mode back into normal Toma mode. And basically the saving grace here is Keisuke, Natsume, Akinori, Toma, all of them combined, plus Terri. Because basically what was going to happen is Venoct was going to smash them into oblivion with his tail. Yes, I know, that's brutal, but he was going to do it. He whipped his tail out at them, and basically Terri, the little dog from the beginning of the episode, became the hero. He blocks it. Venoct realizing what's going on after Terry's barking, and I forgot to mention Minami came down, fainted because she saw Venoct. She's like, ah, and then fainted because she was so afraid. So Hime knows what Venoct looks like from both forms as well, because Hime was with Minami and saw the whole thing go on. Venoct just said, you can basically take these pets and go. Please return them to their owners, because their owners are probably looking for them. To some degree. He just said, if these pets want to go, then let them go. And it kind of implies, if you can get them back to their owners, do so? Because Venoct's not evil, we all know that. He just is a different type of justice that may or may not strike from above. But our final scene, before we get on to something else, is our detective agency for the pets. It was Petapalooza. And they're looking online, trying to see who lost what, trying to safely return them to the proper owners. There's a monkey eating a banana on a bed. Junior's holding little chicks. The whole place is so full of pets that it's not even funny. So they're trying to plan out how to return everyone's pets. And then we shift to Hime and Haruya, or Himeya. There we go, Himeya. That's their name right now until she devours Haruya and takes this Shunin Doji power. But basically they're walking on the street. Venoct passes on the bike, on his bike, and Haruya, Hime implied that she wanted something, and Haruya goes and buys the bag of dog food that's on the back of the bike. Yeah, because that's kind of like what happened. And it's like, only the best for my Hime. And she's like, no, you're just a pawn. She didn't say that, but her body language certainly did in for it. Thank you guys for watching the episode review. I want to thank you all for your support. You guys are all wonderful and excellent people. Have yourselves a wonderful morning, afternoon, and or evening. Bye for now.